Right then, hello guys and good afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon. Football's on as per, so I thought I'd come and bake a cake. And the cake I'm baking today is a Farmhouse fruit cake. It's a recipe that I've been using for donkey's years, and I'm touching wood here. It always proves popular with you lot. So here we go, let's run through the ingredients. And the first two ingredients are 8 ounces of self-raising flour and 4 ounces of butter or marge. Then we need 4 ounces of fruit, sultanas, currants, whatever you like. 8 ounces of sugar. I've just mixed them together because they're going into the cake at the same time. Now here you can use 2 ounces of mixed peel. I hate, loathe and detest mixed peel, so I use a grated carrot. The grated carrot also makes for a moister cake, so good point. Then to bind we'll need 2 beaten eggs and approximately 4 tablespoons of milk. And to finish we need some demerara sugar. So to start we have to mix. No, to start, let's be honest, we have to preheat our oven. Our oven is preheating to 180°C. I've also got my cake tin ready, it's lined, ready to go. So now to actually start the mix, we need to rub the fat into the flour. So we're just trying to resemble breadcrumbs, you know, just like making pastry. Oops. Note to self, wear an apron. I've got enough of them hanging on the door. Okay, so we've mixed that all in. You can't see any bits that are just flour, I hope. Anyway, I can't. So now we're going to mix in the fruit and the sugar and give that a good stir through so that it's evenly distributed. It's quite a quick cake to actually bring together. The longest point about this cake is the cooking time. So right, they're fairly evenly mixed, so in we go with the grated carrots. I think I'm just going to go in with my hands to mix this through because obviously the carrot is damp anyway. So I remember the first time I made this for Steve, he was like, there's carrot in a cake, why? Anyway, he didn't question it anymore after he'd tasted it. Right, there we go. And now we're going to make a slight well and go in with the eggs. Don't want to lose that. I'm going to add some of the milk too. Sometimes you'll need all of the milk, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you may even need a little bit more. As I've said before, it depends on the temperatures that you're working at in your kitchen, on the altitude, and how old the flour is can sometimes make a difference too. Right, so we need to mix this really well. There we go. Didn't need all the milk. That's I might add a little bit more because you want it slightly more dropping than that, but I don't want it too wet. And that's it. Dropping consistency, that's going to drop. Yeah? Okay, now I just need to pop it into the tin. My oven has preheated. I didn't hear it go off, I must have been in the other room. So that's good. I'm just going to get my hands clean and then I'm going to get a scraper. Because as you know, I don't like to leave all that in the bowl. So there we are, scraper. This is a 7-inch round cake tin, deep cake tin that I'm baking this in. You could make them in a loaf, make it in a loaf tin, but you know, just use what you've got, use what you fancy. I use the round cake tin because I think it gives them more of a Mr. Kipling's Manor House cake look, only slightly bigger, in fact very much so bigger. Okay, so that's all in there. And now we just need to smooth it round so that it fills the whole of the cake tin. No gaps. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to, this sounds quite strange, but I'm going to drop the cake tin a couple of times onto the surface so that we get rid of any air pockets. Okay, so you may be thinking, yeah, okay, but it doesn't look very manor housey. Here's where it starts to look more that way. The demerara sugar we sprinkle over. You can be as generous or as frugal as you like with this. I'm going to be fairly generous, so it's probably going to be 2 spoonfuls. Move the tin. I know that I can get to where I've missed. Okay, so that, and then we're just going to push it down just ever so slightly into the cake mix. There we go, and that, my lovies, is all there is to it. This is now ready to go into the oven. So I'm going to put this in the middle shelf, about 180, for about an hour, or until a skewer pushed into it comes out clean. So I shall pop this in the oven. There we go, all in, and I'll see you in about an hour. Right then, I'm back. The timer has just gone off to tell me that it's been an hour since I put the cake in the oven. So let's take a look. Well, it looks good. Well, let's see what happens now. Excellent, it's come out clean. So I shall now bring the cake over to you. And let's just bring it down a little bit so you can see. There we have a Farmhouse fruit cake. I'm going to leave it in the tin to cool for a few minutes, and then I'll take it out and I will take a photo of it when I've cut it later so that you can all see.